Unbelievable! Incredible! Unbelievable!
Save! And Spark are champions!
Good on, Pepe! Goal! It doesn't get any better than that!
Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, going into this rainy evening. We have Alloy versus Westchester going and playing on their new home turf. We'll see how that plays with some rain that seems to be slowing down at the moment. Hopefully it doesn't pick up too much for our players, but we're indeed in for a beautiful match today, despite the weather not really picking up to such a standard. We are having a beautiful competition against two of the top teams for our Delaware Conference, as we can give a quick look at our table. Westchester Predators are leading it without a loss, and Alloy close behind, only with one. That one loss coming to Real Central New Jersey, to which the Predators actually played just last week and had a fairly close match. So this will be a good chance for Alloy to prove that they can still keep up, even though a gap is starting to form between their most strong competitor and themselves. We're looking at, again, another beautiful competition. Westchester, a dominant force coming into the Delaware Conference last season, and overtaken Alloy, who used to be one of the top competitors and still is, just dethroned from the absolute blitzkrieg that was Westchester's dominant performance. So yet again, this match will prove to be a possible change of fate for Alloy, to show that they can still kick in to this developing rivalry, dare I say. And again, a beautiful game that is going to happen on a sunless day. But hopefully the sun will shine for Alloy. Last year, Westchester did win the Delaware Conference Championship against Alloy, something that maybe will light a fire underneath Alloy and hopefully help them push a little bit further to beat this so far undefeatable team. And even with that, Westchester went on to win the entire APSL conference, to show again just how dominant their performance was as they went ahead and came into this conference, or league in general, just a season ago. We are here on the Lancaster Catholic High School Crusader Stadium, as you see that beautiful logo in the middle, as both the teams are getting ready and the refs are taking their spots. We are indeed in for a beautiful match. I am expecting some good performances from some definitely reoccurring players, such as Robinson for Westchester, who just last season, along with the amazing performance that they had in general, he was one of their top goal scorers, and so far this season has proven to do just the same. While on the other side, though not to the same full degree, Alloy still putting up an impressive performance with Luke Null, who is their leading goal scorer with 3 goals, while Robinson shares that with Mou for Westchester. Again, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you are ready for a beautiful day of soccer as the teams are starting to get into formation. And even with the rain slightly picking up, these players will give, well, their absolute best, and hopefully it doesn't prove to be too much of a difficulty for them, though I am sure they have spent plenty of time in the rain prior. It looks like Alloy is going to be the team that is going to take our kickoff. The ref is going to go ahead and set his time. We have not heard of any possible delays that might come in and affect this game's happening. But as of right now, the field is just going to be slightly a little wet, and Westchester is going to start off on the defense. Aloy opting to keep possession, as this will definitely be an important aspect of the upcoming game. And as I go ahead and throw on a hoodie as the rain has hit up, a little bit of pressure coming in from Robinson as he is both attacking the defense and the goalkeeper as they are trying to move the ball around up in the air. A little awkward as the lights come on. It is time, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I am in the mood. Let's go. Alloy going to opt to clear this upfield and turn it over to the possession of Westchester. Going to see a little bit of a mix-up in around the 35-yard line, but Alloy will go ahead and come away with the ball. Trying to work up that same sideline that Westchester just attacked on. Going to opt in for the cross, but not enough power. It might be due to some of the rain, but unfortunately Alloy can breathe a quick sigh of relief, but not too long of a relief, as Westchester immediately regains possession and is going to push it back. Going to see Edwin try and move it back to Beltran as they go ahead and move it across the field. Going to see what his options are downfield and see if there's any look, which we might have one. Going to slow down the play a little bit, see if playing it back might be the better option as they survey their options. See if moving it midfield will be good, but shifting it back to the other side while everyone else realigns is exactly how Westchester needs to play this game, as Alloy will not allow for any mere light attack on their defense, but that will be an offsides for Westchester as Alloy will collect the ball. Looks like they're going to be rotating through one of the soccer balls or drying it off, who knows. The conditions aren't, well, exactly ideal, so cannot say that I blame them too much for wanting a quick change to ensure that everything is playing to as much of their standards as it could possibly be. Edwin opting to hit it out. Alloy looking to the sidelines again. Seems as though we're having a little bit of trouble as for which ball they wish to choose to play with. For now, at least. It's going to be an Alloy throw-in. Going to see them rotate it around the field, take it to their left side as they go ahead and move it up. Going to try and look center, but it's a little bit too far of a push, and that ball goes out in the open. Alloy able to recover it after a quick encounter, and that's going to be a penalty in favor of Alloy. And we'll see the first set piece of this game. Fortunately, trying to shoot it out to the side, not the best result that they were likely looking for, but it is going to end up with an attack going straight down the center. But Westchester able to pounce on a little bit of a strong touch, trying to maintain it, and a free man down the sideline. We'll see if Mohu is able to keep possession. Going to try and look across the field, but unfortunately, no dice on that one, and Alloy will again take possession. Alloy, seeing if their option on the right side is going to change how their attacks have gone so far. Quick move. Seeing if that look center can do anything. Unfortunately, he loses possession, but it's still an option. Awkward clear from Westchester, but they're able to maintain it and try and push it upfield. Not able to hold on to it, and Aloy having most of the possession in this game so far, and if they want to take down the dominant team that Westchester has been so far, they definitely want to be the ones that are maintaining the ball most of the time. Now, Westchester going to be the one that keeps possession for at least this portion of the game. Good patience from each team. They know that this is not going to be something where a quick attack will be the all in all for what will win them this game. Again, trying to move it out, but Aloy able to counter. See if they can move it upfield any further. They've only ever gotten to the top of the 18 so far, but they're moving it past it this time. Trying to look center, but Westchester able to get a foot on the ball, and they're going to go ahead and move it up this sideline. We'll see if he takes it back and tries to look across the field. But again, patience, the key feature of this game so far. Robinson trying to be that team leader that he's always been, seeing if he can push it upfield. Now, taking it to the top of the box, but slippery ball, and it's in! Robinson, he handed the ball off, and though it wasn't intended to be his goal, with the conditions obviously not being ideal, it was perfect for it to slip right under his feet and exactly where he wanted it to be to get Westchester their first goal for this game. This is the Westchester that we've come to expect to see, and by no means can I say that I'm surprised. As much as Aloy has been the one holding the pressure, Westchester was the one that was able to capitalize on, I can't say small mistake because don't know if it was truly the keeper's fault that the ball might just not be that easy to grab, but Aloy going to take the rest of this game on a little bit of their heels, as they are going to have to work from one goal down. Clear upfield. Aloy is going to try and possess it, but unfortunately it's going to roll out of bounds, and Westchester will get the possession back. Awkward touch as the ball bounces in a few possessions, but heading back to Aloy as they look for a gap in somewhat of the midfield. Moving up, going to opt to hand it off to instead opting to move it back. Yikes. They're going to look and see if the corner might be a good option, a center, but likely going to be an offsides call, I believe. And Westchester will get the ball back. Mars gonna hand it off to his defense and see if they can develop anything further. Unfortunately not the best clear, and though didn't get exactly a distance that was wanted, it kept in their possession, not maintaining it though, and Aloy will take a stab downfield, and it'll almost work as a fight ensues, and it looks like Aloy's gonna maintain possession, but the shot is not gonna end up anywhere towards net, and DeMars is going to see if he can get it out to Thomas, which Thomas will possess it and hand it back to his midfielders to see if they can develop anything. Going straight back to him. But again, not seeing any options, so they are going to try and move it midfield and get it up further. Not resulting in anything as of yet, but just from the last goal, we saw that there is definite possibilities, and a good move. It's going to move it just a few more yards downfield, but fortunately nothing's going to come of it yet, as Aloy's going to take possession, but not the strongest of all passes. And again, this game is turning out to be heavily in the favor of the conditions, as it seems to be the predominant force of who's going to win this game so far. A good look down the sideline is going to see if this can give Westchester another opportunity. Unfortunately not. And Aloy is going to be happy that that one did not take any unfortunate bounces that led to the prior goal. And they are going to yet again see if they can develop anything in this midfield. A quick collision is going to lead to 2 players down on the field. It's going to be an Aloy penalty, I believe. Gonna have some quick conversations as they're setting themselves up. Ball going to be centered almost directly to the keep. He's able to get a touch on it, and Luke Knoll not able to get any contact, and I believe that was a handball that is going to be in favor of Westchester, as Thomas goes ahead and pushes that out, returning it now on the right side of the field. But he's going to go ahead and move his way back to his normal position, which is almost just in line to where he needed to be. But Aloy able to take possession in this game. Definitely a back and forth, and I don't believe it is by any means a playstyle influence that is having some favor in such back and forth. Some touches and bounces, as you just saw there, obviously not favoring either of these teams in any say of what happens. But that is something that I guess we will find out which team is able to adapt to it more and take advantage of their opponent's mistakes, as well that first goal was for Robinson and Westchester. Aloy going to see if they can manage this throw-in, but unfortunately no. And we're going to see if Westchester can take a shot downfield. Unfortunately, no good touch is going to come from it, and we're going to resume to the normal back and forth that we've seen from this game so far in the midfield. An attempted slide tackle, but Westchester able to maintain possession and opting to control it in their backfield as Edwin surveys his options. Seen a lot of back and forth between Robinson being that option for the team, whether that be coming down to help out Thomas or be an outlet for them to push the ball forward. They're going to see if they can line anything up on this sideline. Unfortunately, nothing for Loy. They're going to take it slow, and a poor touch. Robinson not able to get any meaningful control of the ball, and We're going to see if that through ball can do anything, but just barely. I believe it was Weaver who was able to get a slight touch on it and kick it away. And a through ball that, again, I believe it's the weather that is just making it so that some of these touches are a little bit too strong or a little bit too out of hand for both of these teams' players to be able to handle it. We're going to see Westchester win it again in the midfield, and an attempted pass down the sideline, but not the best. And yet again, the same for Aloy. Attempted pass down the sideline, but nothing is going to come of it as of yet. Going to see some good pressure from Hollinger as he helps keep Westchester in their side of the field. Granted, so far that has not been too much of a factor for Aloy in getting good opportunities, but it is something that will at least dampen Westchester's presence in this game as they yet again start moving down the sideline. But we're going to see a shift towards the midfield, and nothing is going to come of it. But this back and forth really seeming to favor Westchester, at least from what we've seen so far, and that ball will roll harmlessly past the Aloy's back line, and we will see yet another free kick in their favor. Westchester able to jump on another opportunity that Aloy might have had as they again work this sideline, but Robinson, thinking that weren't too favorable of opportunities and pushing it back, and this same pushback will occur between Miller and I believe that's Beltran. But not too best of the touch, and Aloy with possession again. Some small passing back and forth does not lead to too much for Aloy, and yet again back in Westchester's better favor. Dare I say, it seems like Westchester, when they win the ball, they get it moved a little bit further down the field as compared to Aloy, and we're going to see if this is a possible opportunity for Robinson. He's going to try and take a stab at it, but it looks like is that going to be a penalty for Robinson? We're seeing some deliberation between the players, naturally, but it seems like everyone's lining up for a penalty kick. And yes, it will. Goalkeeper just being a little too aggressive there as the ball again popped out after Robinson tried to make contact. But I guess goalkeeper box is just a little bit slipperier than Westchester's, and we will see a beautiful PK take by Brenes, and he's going to go ahead and extend Westchester's lead by 2. Aloy, not necessarily digging their own grave, but it seems like they're just walking towards it. Not by their own choice, though. Starting to wonder if maybe they need to pick up a little bit more of that same passive approach that Westchester's started to favor, but already some contention, and Thomas going to take the ball. But luckily, nothing too strong will come of it. And just as I thought I had an opportunity to explain stuff, again, we have Aloy trying to get something going on Westchester's side of the field, but it's going to be kicked out, and Aloy will gladly take this time to see what kind of momentum they can get from this. We're going to see a little bit of contention on the sideline after that throw-in, and it's going to favor Westchester. Aloy not able to capitalize on that possible opportunity, and Westchester a little awkward there, but it looks like they might be able to maintain it, maybe not. Again, the ball bouncing around in not necessarily sporadic ways, but ways that the players aren't able to fully predict, and that leads to some uncontrollable bounces. I'm going to go ahead and see Hollinger control the ball again, opting to move it around and see if they can maybe take another opportunity elsewhere. But it seems like he might have his opportunity here as he tries to move it upfield. Bounce off Thomas, I believe. And it'll at least stay in Aloy's favor. Going to see Westchester step in there to stop anything from developing. And yet another Aloy throw-in on Westchester's side, but opting to take it a little bit further back in hopes they can try and get something going possession-wise, but it seems like Westchester just absolutely owning all of the challenges and an attempted fake shot. It's not going to work out in this scenario, but another good opportunity. That one from, I believe, a miscommunication on Aloy's part. But they will definitely be breathing a sigh of relief after a little bit of a mistouch there. Thomas able to get that past. We're going to see him move along the... Oh, apologies, my speech was interrupted by how close that was. Almost another opportunity for Westchester, but at least they get to maintain possession. I believe it was Brenes, the owner of the previous PK, that just brought Westchester up 2-0. Trying to extend that lead a little bit, but Westchester's going to go ahead and take this opportunity to keep that same possession that they've been very good at holding on to, even with, again, this poor weather condition that has allowed for some unfortunate situations on each side, but Westchester favoring it, and that is going to be a penalty on the side of Aloy as Robinson goes down holding his ankle. Hopefully not too serious of a situation, but as this gets sorted out, I'm going to go ahead and thank today's sponsor, Petrobox. Today's Game and Frame is brought to you by Petrobox, your gateway to Spain and Portugal. From unforgettable vacations to exclusive soccer group trips, Petrobox gets you closer to the action, the culture, and the biggest teams on the Iberian Peninsula. Visit petrobox.com and start planning your dream trip today. Thank you again, Petrobox, for sponsoring today's Game and Frame. We're going to go ahead and see Thomas eye up his options as the PK is a little close to the end line, but I'm sure they are not complaining about the opportunity. We're gonna see the ball go ahead and get, taken out of the box, and a little bit of stumbling from Miller, I believe that was, and that's gonna go ahead and push the ball back. DeMars opting to kick it out, though I thought he might have had the right side of the field available for some of his teammates. We're gonna go ahead and see Hostester, see if he can send this ball to the center of the field and give some opportunity. It's gonna be interrupted, and I believe that's an offsides call in favor of Aloy, and he's going to be handed back to that same Hostester, who's going to get this ball moving in possession. Again, I do think that maybe it's the possession game that Aloy is going to have to try and take some advantage in, as Westchester is just not giving them any inch of room to try and make some kind of play, as we saw just there. But at least that one ending up in a corner kick, which, if they want to make any kind of ground in this first half, then they're going to need something here, or at least something that will make Westchester respect some of their movements, to give them at least some opportunities. Going to see some movement just outside of the goalkeeper. Apologies, I was going to say the 6, but everyone seems to be crowding just inside the box, and it floats just over. You could barely see the orange through all of the black and white and green, as we'll see if they try and go for the same thing again. But it looks like DeMars is stepping out a little bit further, probably compensating for such a tactic, even though it might not be happening, at least in this play. Ball a little high, not going to be in play, unfortunately, for Aloy, and they're going to go ahead and set themselves back up as Westchester takes yet another time for possession. DeMars going to call his players further downfield, as the midfield game for Westchester has been favoring them as far as the score concerns, at least. And I don't believe the same will be... Never mind, the same will be said here. I stand corrected twice, as Aloy is able to take the ball, but I believe the ref is calling it for Westchester. Westchester going to see if taking it fast here is a good option, but likely won't be, and that'll be an opportunity for Aloy. Going to see if they can at least move it around in the midfield on Westchester's half. Move attempted and across, but sent out to the side, and Westchester will gladly take the throw-in that was ever so calmly rolled in as the players competed for the ball. Westchester looking to keep possession, but a little bit of a conflict in the midfield, and I guess Westchester really likes keeping up the pace even in the lead, and they're going to immediately take advantage of the penalty that was just given to them, as believe that's Miller, dancing around the upper half of the midfield from our perspective, and move it around to take it back to the defense. An attempted look upfield is going to lead to a deflection, but a Westchester throw-in, unfortunately for Aloy. Westchester able to maintain their hold on the ball, but unfortunately apologies, I thought the ref threw the flag the other way. It's going to be a Westchester throw-in that is just going to lead straight back to Aloy's possession. They're going to go ahead and see if taking it across the field is going to be the option, but if there was a turf monster for bad bounces, I believe it's here today, as yet again, a little bit of an unpredictable bounce is enough to give Westchester the ball yet again. And I will repeat that it seems like Westchester getting the favorable side of a lot of these misfortunate touches or bounces from the ball, and Westchester going to go ahead and move this ball between themselves, seeing if they can get anything going, but good interception. Is going to give Aloy the ball in the midfield with some players in front of it. Going to see if they can try and get something going, but it rolls harmlessly to DeMars, and it'll look like Renez is going to just give the option for this ball to move up down the sideline, and a little bit of a miscommunication there, but Westchester able to recover from the awkward touch, and a long ball to either Robinson or Thomas, but looks like there was a little bit of confusion as to who was going to try and get that touch, but Westchester's going to dance with the ball at the top of the box, and fortunately a good challenge is going to send it out. But we'll just go ahead and see an Aloy throw-in. A good move past the Westchester team, and possibly a shot here, and it's unfortunately wide. He did look like he was stumbling a little bit, trying to recover for the shot, and again, Aloy just not able to generate anything. And if I were Westchester, I am definitely not mad at the fact that this is how things have gone ahead and played out. Thomas going to be able to move past one, but an attempted move past the other is not going to result in the same fortune. Luckily, Westchester is able to retake the ball and move it down that same sideline that has generated so many opportunities prior. Someone jumps over the ball, but Aloy is able to take it, and attempted slide tackle is not going to result in anything, and that ball goes straight off of the chest of Weaver, and I'm sure he's happy it wasn't any higher, and I'm sure he's happy that he was able to maintain it to keep their possession. And Westchester just looking at holding the ball again. DeMars calling his players to try and get the ball further down the field faster, but looks like they might opt for a little bit more midfield play, which It looks like they might have. Apologies, my confidence is not too strong with how back and forth this has been, but a good move is going to send it to the middle of the box, and it's skied over the net. I don't know if he was thinking this was the wrong kind of football, because it did go through the uprights, but as much as 3 points would put Aloy in the lead, those 3 points can't be given to Westchester. And Aloy gonna see if they can take possession of this ball more towards the midfield line. Floating down towards the 45. Someone jumps for it, but Westchester, I believe, getting a handball there. Or, apologies, the ref is pointing in multiple directions. Yes, Westchester will get the ball. Apologies. Normally they go for the more quick attack, but it seems like Aloy a little bit more ready this time for quick reminder for everyone watching, we have more games coming up this weekend. We have the second qualifying round of the U.S. Open Cup, those games being Met Oval and Central Park Rangers. That'll be at 7 p.m. And we have New York Greek Americans versus the New York Renegades just an hour later at 8 p.m. And as I was reading the upcoming matches, it seems like Thomas had a shot on the net. But as for the other match that is coming up tomorrow, we have Vitus United FC versus Lighthouse, also in this Delaware conference. That is going to be casted by yours truly. So if you enjoyed this broadcast, then almost another opportunity for Westchester there. But if you enjoyed this broadcast, then go ahead and tune into that one. That one will be at 1 p.m. And admits my times telling you guys what games might be coming up for tomorrow. We've seen Westchester get a few more opportunities on net, though it seems like Aloy is a little bit more manageable of some of these attacks. The ball going to bounce awkwardly between both of the teams here, as Thomas is going to take possession of it, but a quick collision is going to lead to Aloy taking possession, and we're going to see if he tries to look across the field a little bit, as he has an open player. No offsides called. We're going to see a center, unfortunately, bouncing straight over both of the players from Westchester and Aloy, trying to get its possession, but a bad touch from Thomas there. We're going to see if Aloy can take advantage of this. This corner of the field seems to be a favorite for both teams, as Aloy seems to like their attacks on this side, and Westchester seems to like starting attacks from this side. So we'll see if that continues to be a trend, and if that's something that maybe both the teams need to be aware of. Going to see some more just simple movement from Westchester as we come to the later half of this first half, and a penalty in favor of Westchester. Again, most of their prior penalties have been some quick attacks, but as the half comes to a little bit of an end, I do not blame them for trying to calm things down and take a little bit more of an approach, and it seems like Edwin wasn't aware that we are indeed playing on the yellow line for this match. That is going to result in a bit of a break for Aloy as they try to maintain this possession off the throw-in, but not going to result from something good. Robinson going to go ahead and take this ball. He doesn't have any options yet down the field, but he's going to try and make his own move using his left foot. He tried to see if he could get it center, and a good stand from the Aloy defense as able to deflect it out. That will, on the other hand, result in a corner which Westchester's going to go ahead and take right away. Thomas makes a great move. See if they can try and get it center. And a clear from Aloy is going to have them shaping back up to see if they can get into a more solid defense after being so congested. We'll see if Westchester able to take advantage of that across the center of the box. It's a little awkward. Aloy able to yet again recover from that and at least push it out to the midfield, which will allow them possession. And not the best touch there, kind of halting that possible push downfield, but they will at least maintain possession as some pushing goes on in the literal form, and Westchester going to go ahead and take advantage of a free ball. We'll go ahead and see if Edwin tries to do anything past that, but he's going to pass it off and move around to other players, which are going to continue that same idea. That is drawing in a lot of Aloy players. It seems like Westchester able to force a little bit of a double team and maybe cause for some openings. But haven't capitalized on that opportunity just yet. But possibly capitalizing on these short passes. We're going to see a little bit of hesitancy, but a collection from Aloy, and it seems like we're going to see them push again a little bit further downfield. Ball's going to have some wicked spin on it. You could see that as it somewhat stopped a little bit dead on its first touch. But that was not the strongest of all. Touches, or at least attempts from Robinson, and that ball's going to go straight back to a Westchester player. We're going to see if they can possibly give a fake, and we're going to see if a chip was possibly enough. I believe that was more of a placement shot. Apologies, but it wasn't enough to get it past and into the back of the net. Something that Aloy has not failed twice now so far, but possible counterattack halted there by DeMars. We're going to see Aloy try and add a little bit of pressure here as they know we are coming into the last minute of regulation, and it's going to work in their favor as they collect and start to move this ball downfield. If they're going to need a goal, then I would say it'd be now, and a diving clear from, I believe that was Weaver, gives Westchester possession. And I mean, he definitely had a soft landing, as this turf is possibly a little softer from all the rain, but what an effort that is going to force Aloy to restart their push towards the other side of the field in their own half. We're going to see a move, getting it down the sideline of Westchester, but not too much else resulting from it. Aloy possibly able to step on something there, and they do, and yet again another step from Miller, able to halt an Aloy attack, and we'll see if maybe Robinson can help formulate another goal before the half's end. Gonna survey his options as we see a nice triangle forming, but looks like the triangle was interrupted, and Aloy, though their possession in the midfield hasn't been too great, they're gonna try and maintain it here. Gonna see an attempt, and Miller again. Strong presence on that right side of the Westchester half. Gonna look at a field goal. Likely the last, if not the second to last, opportunity Aloy's gonna get for this first half, and it's going to float again harmlessly over the crowded box. Westchester in no hurry to see if this game can come to an end a little bit sooner. And there it is, the halftime whistle. Westchester up 2-0 against Aloy. A PK and an unfortunate bounce in Aloy's goal box, resulting in those goals. And we'll see if Aloy can formulate anything, or at least try and come up with something, whether that be maybe a little bit more luck on their side. We will see, and I will see you in the second half of this APSL Game in Frame game.
Rosero drifting deep, and it's Oscar Rivas! Oh my word! Stunning! Oscar Rivas with another moment of cup magic!
Happy to keep this ball. Floated forward to McDade. I don't see the flag up. What a finish that is by Brian McDade. Off the underside of the bar and in.
Then Suarez on it, gets a foot on it. Opportunity, open goal! It's Eric Rincon who opens the scoring for Galicia.
It's in the box, in the mid, to it first. Defense to a second. Rojas with a long shot, and what a goal! What a strike for number 4!
With his leg. Goes long for Neme. Neme controls it well. Garcia, chip to the run of Neme. Will he get a shot? Tight angle, finishes for Nicholas Neme. Set up by Ivan Garcia with the chip assist. And Neme, a good finish inside the left post, and it's 1-0 Ironbound very quickly here at home.
Scan across and make sure everything is closed up. Here's Yusuf Afif. Gets away from the defender. Yusuf Afif off the crossbar! Newly repaired, put back into order, and Yusuf Afif says, let me give it a quick testaroo.
Jayakanth central. Dana again takes a shot. What a finish from the number 7! Just like that.
Schwartz. Schwartz trying to get around Gralla. He does. Schwartz! Schwartz!
What a run by Brandon Schwartz! Rose, got a touch over Gene right at the goal line and in. Gene didn't come get it in time. And it's delicately put in. First the touch over by Rose, and then sliding to finish.
Sabovic wobbling, immaculate by Sabovic. That is delicious. Immaculate in its construction. It wobbled and weaved all over the place.
Tangled with Cardozo, no foul. Oliveira, he will shoot, and when they chipped him again from over 30 yards out, it's Ricardo Oliveira, his fourth, and there's the second for Ironbound, the second chip, and this is excellent from Oliveira.
Paz gets past 3. Paez, the ball, boot shot! It's a rocket! Brahim Aboud with a rifle from his left foot.
From soccer fields across the USA to the legendary stadiums of Spain and Portugal, for 40 years, Petrobax has been the go-to expert for group travel to Spain and Portugal. We organize soccer group trips from start to finish, flights, hotels, transportation, and guided tours, all perfectly coordinated by our experienced team. Your trip can include attending La Liga and Portuguese Primeira Liga games, matches against local teams, pro training sessions, and even tournaments. As true experts in Spain and Portugal, we'll ensure you also experience the rich history, vibrant culture, and incredible food these countries are famous for. Celebrating 40 years of crafting unforgettable journeys to Spain and Portugal. Petrobax, your team, your passion, your trip to Spain and Portugal starts here.
My name is Austin Brummett. I'm a men's soccer player at San Diego State University, and I play forward. The Salt Air Case helps block odor from my cleats when I'm driving in my car or when I'm keeping my cleats inside my house, so I don't have to worry about it stinking up my room. It helps me keep track of my cleats and my shin guards, so I know that they're together, and I don't have to worry about tracking them down or losing them or stressing out about where they are. I would definitely rock this, walking to the games, walking around to my trainings. And it's super helpful for travel. When I travel in the airport to go to away games, it's not going to stink up my backpack or stink up the plane where I'm sitting. Magnetic strip on the top is super easy to open to take my cleats out and to put my cleats back in. I think it's an essential part of my outfit for soccer, and it helps keep all my stuff organized and stink-free.
A quality highlight reel is crucial for college and pro recruitment. A lot of services offer generic solutions, but at Game & Frame we know every player is unique and needs a personalised approach to win over coaches. Our process is simple. We work with any footage, and if you need help finding your best plays, we'll review games for you. Once we've finished, you'll have a reel you can upload to any recruitment platform. We've helped hundreds of players get the attention they deserve, including placements in Division I programs. Scan the QR code or email us for a free consultation and start the journey to maximize your recruitment potential.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the second half of Westchester Predators versus Alloy. We are going to have Westchester with the ball starting off for this second half, and we are going to see if Alloy can try and get their foot in the door, at least, to getting some kind of hold on this match, because so far, Westchester seeming to at least bounce on the opportunities more so than Alloy has been able to, since the weather hasn't been too favorable for our teams, though I'm sure, again, Westchester probably not too upset about it, as if you are tuning in a little bit later, the first goal was an unfortunate bounce in the Alloy's goal box, which resulted in Robinson scoring their first goal, and then likely, again, weather-caused collision in Alloy's goal box, which led to a penalty kick. So, not too much going in Alloy's favor, but we will go ahead and see if they can try and turn the tides in this match, as they are more than definitely trying to fight to stay in the top of this Delaware Conference's competition, as Westchester is number 1 in this beautiful table that you guys should be seeing now, and number 2 is just right behind them, Alloy. So this match will definitely be, well, likely one of the most important matches for, well, both the teams, since if they're both going to maintain that dominant gameplay that, though Alloy did have a little bit of a rough start, has maintained so far this season, it is going to be whether or not Westchester can hold on and increase that gap, or if Alloy can come back and then decrease that same gap. Gonna go ahead and see Robinson start us off, and Westchester gonna go ahead and opt for maintaining possession. Since they are up 2-0, I wouldn't be surprised if they try and go for a little bit more of a possessive form of play style, though I feel they already have been, but they might not, since it seems so far they have yet to have too much struggle in holding back Alloy's attacks, counterattacks, or even some of their set pieces and corner kicks that they've had a few opportunities to try and set up. But as this second half gets underway, we're going to see if Thomas is able to get that ball center. Unfortunately not. And Alloy, a little bit of an awkward handoff there. We're going to go ahead and see Miller, the Alloy goalkeeper, try and get that ball out of there, and unfortunately head straight back to the Westchester defense. Apologies. Mullen is the Alloy goalkeeper. The rain has gotten on my player sheet a little bit, so apologies if there are any confusions with that in the future. But it's not just my stat sheet that the rain has been affecting, it's also been this game, as you can see the ball skidding a little bit more, and there's a little bit more power behind some of these touches that players have been struggling to compensate for, and has led to quite the back and forth in the midfield. But we will see if that continues to be a problem, or if we're going to see some compensation given from both of the teams to try and manage such a hindrance. Lloyd gonna play that left sideline and try and hand the ball through, but unfortunately didn't seem like anyone was there for how far downfield it was taken. Westchester giving a lot of room in this midfield to try and move it around, and a good through ball for Westchester. We're going to see if they can make anything happen from it. Shot off the post! Aloy, dare I say a miracle that didn't go in, and a little bit of a trip up is going to relieve that pressure that was held on, and a big clearance. We might see equal pressure in return from Alloy here. This is going to be one of their only opportunities. And the ball, yet again, floating over the crossbar. We've seen it on corner kicks, and we've seen the same thing for Westchester, as maybe the ball getting a little bit too much height from how much bounce this field is putting on some of these shots and these first touches. But I'm sure Westchester is not complaining about it, as I've said multiple times this broadcast. Gonna float in the air awkwardly as they try and figure out who's gonna maintain possession, and that's gonna be Alloy, who will gladly let it slide back to Mullen as he tries to move it upfield. They're gonna go ahead and keep it in their possession as of now, and see if they can try and develop something. A quick look towards the center, but nothing's gonna come of it, and yet again Westchester with possession and maintaining it well. Likely going to look back here, see if they can not shift the field. Apologies. That going to float towards the 30-yard line and go in Alloy's favor. A nice tap towards the center, and a quick slide is going to result in Alloy maintaining possession. We're going to see if a quick handoff is going to be enough to try and get something going. But the ball is going to roll, and I believe, a little bit of slip there. Alloy, very happy to let that result in a corner kick. And so far, they've had a few, and we'll see if maybe this can be the one that they can convert on. Light touch. Service. Unfortunately, nothing is going to come from it, as I could hear the ball skid a little bit more than it probably should have, and flying to the other side of the field. Service, unfortunately, going to result in an offsides, and Alloy will go ahead and take that. Ball's going to roll back to Mullen as he looks over his options. Alloy looking like they're just trying to maintain possession here. Yes, they get some moments to move upfield, but so far, at least for this possession, it hasn't really resulted in anything, and as this possession dissipates, seems like it will continue to be so. A lot of converging going on there, but it's going to look like Westchester is going to get the ball on the sideline. Quick pass back, seeing if maybe taking it around is the right choice, but they're going to opt for taking it back. Oh, unfortunate challenge there, and that's going to result in A Westchester free kick just outside the 35. Gonna go ahead and take it short. Does have the option outside. Gonna result in something towards the midfield, but very much so surrounded, and a big slide coming out there. That's gonna be yet another free kick for Westchester. You can see some people lining up just on top of the goalie box. We'll see if maybe Westchester tries to take a stronger attack here. Looks like they will. Oh! And looks like the rainy conditions aren't too much of a favor for Weaver as he stumbles backwards, and Alloy gonna go ahead and play it quick. Maybe seeing if they can capitalize on the retreating Westchester players, but an unfortunate touch from Yoyer gonna result in a Westchester, ooh, big step, recovering after that mishap touch, and he's gonna earn his team possession again. Trying to take it straight up the gut here, but surrounded by Westchester players. It's not going to result in anything. We might have a through ball here. I believe that's Robinson with another opportunity. Quick play and a beautiful save from Mullen. If they're going to call on anyone to make sure that they can stay in this game, it's definitely going to be him, as Westchester has proven they're not afraid to take shots. We're going to see if Thomas can hand this off to Robinson and see if Robinson can do anything, but gonna run the ball around that corner, hand it back off to him. Gonna see, dare I say, wide open possession in the midfield, and that's gonna deflect and result in another corner kick for Westchester. They've tried some short passes, and it hasn't really resulted in anything too valuable, so maybe they try and look at some sort of piece here that can give them a different kind of scoring opportunity. A ball favoring the backside of the net is going to go just to the top of the box. And a big trip. We're going to see some discussion here, and the ref does have his hand up, and there is a player down. We'll wait to see. Don't believe that was a PK. No, it wasn't, and we'll have a throw-in to continue play. Big fighting going on the other side of the field, and the ref is going to go ahead and give that to Alloy. Here are some of the players calling time, so we'll likely see them move upfield and try and develop something, hopefully on the other side, that isn't their own, as I believe most of the possession so far has been within the Alloy half. But Westchester more than happy to take possession and play things off as they are. Oh, possibly a close pass back there, but an unfortunate touch in the midfield is going to result for an opportunity down the sideline. Is going to be number 9, whoa, and he's going to, someone's going to get that center, and the clear is going to go back in Westchester's favor. A service past one, but not past the other. Rolling up for a shot, and it bounces off the post and in. see if I can catch a number to tell you guys who that was. I just heard DeMars scream, "Edwin, that was disgusting." So, a beautiful goal there from Edwin as he heads back to his side of the field. If you're joining late, DeMars is the Westchester goalkeeper who, as you can probably assume from that, has been a little vocal this game. So vocal that even I, as I'm standing at the top of the bleachers, can very clearly tell what he is saying, and unfortunately the line is going to strike again, as that is the second player who has dribbled out of the field. A little bit of confusion here, and I believe that's going to be Alloy's ball, because Behrens was playing it on the ground, and looks like he's going to try and plead his case here, but it's likely not going to result anywhere, as Alloy's going to go ahead and take the ball before any change of mind can happen for the ref, apologies. Alloy going to look center, but probably push it back out. Going to see the ball bounce between some Westchester players, and Alloy trying to generate some opportunity, and it's not going to result in anything, as DeMars gives it a nice boot out of his box towards the 45-yard line. Alloy happy to maintain possession after some back and forth here, and a little bit of a trip up. Robinson gonna get possession. You can see a little bit of unsteady feet from the Alloy defender, but luckily not resulting in anything too dangerous. I'm gonna go ahead and see your move that ball to the center and then move that ball further upfield. A beautiful clear through, but unfortunately likely just barely offsides, and Alloy, likely the only thing they can do is walk back, because that was a good opportunity, just ever so slightly not in the right position. And if there's anything that reflects their efforts so far this game, I would not hesitate to say that would be it, as it is some mere mistakes and some mere situations in which has led to them not having any good scoring opportunities, but that might change as a beautiful shot from, I believe that is Tartefe. I'm unsure if that was a 3-5 or a 2-5. Who? All right, it was indeed number 25, and in that case, it was Hollinger who was able to find a beautiful place in the net to bring this game within one. And let's see if there is, or within two, apologies. As now, in this case, Westchester is the one who wasn't last to score, and they now likely shift into a more defensive mindset to see if they can win back that goal. But hopefully we'll see a little bit of a fire sparked underneath Alloy, as they're going to look outside here, and an attempt at, I believe it was a pass center, but not solid enough contact there from Paquette. Then again, I can't blame him with how slippery these conditions are. Alloy trying to get something moving upfield after this confusing possession, but that's going to result in an opportunity for Westchester. Quick move, a look center to Robinson. Gonna see if he can work around some players. Take a shot. Deflects. Gonna see if moving outside can possibly get something going. It doesn't, but the deflection straight back. And unfortunately, nothing there for Lopez, as I believe that was an attempted shot. Mullen sending this to the 40-yard line, and unfortunately straight to, I believe that's Thomas, as he tries to possess this in the other side of the field, unfortunately not able to hold on to it. Alloy gonna try and look for something down the sideline, but not going to result in at least an immediate pressure on this Westchester defense. But a clear down the middle might, and we're gonna see if Alloy trying to jump on it, and it's gonna go in the bottom left of the net. Beautiful placement there. An angle that, me honestly, I didn't expect to even be capable of going in. I figured possession was the better option, but if there's a vision, there's a way, and Alloy seemed to be alive in this match. As I made the mistake prior, it now reigns true that Alloy only one goal away from tying up this game. We're gonna see Alloy go ahead and take this possession, as they likely know they have, oh, good interception there from Lopez, and he's going to take it down the sideline. We're going to see that go straight to Robinson. He's going to try and handle it, but there's a defender right on him, making that as awkward as possible. Quick counterattacks. Definitely more in the favor of Westchester this game so far. Quick passing, and again Lopez feeding his team just to give it straight back to him, allowing opportunities to form on this close sideline. Ball through, handing it back out. Got some good movement coming from Westchester's forward players, and although the momentum of that play has slowed down slightly, Westchester not going to give away this positioning, and a quick chip possibly going to give something, but unfortunately not resulting in anything immediately. Westchester going to go ahead and take a corner kick in this case. Likely not the best scenario for Alloy, as they just came back from a 2-0 deficit, and if Westchester are able to capitalize on this, they're going to have to come back from it again. The ball a little low there, but bouncing off of a Westchester player and giving Alloy the break that they would likely need. The usual back and field commotion that we have been dealing with so far this game is returning, and at least last half that seemed to favor Westchester, but as of now seems to be a little bit more even, and if anything favoring Alloy. And as I say, it'll be favoring Alloy. It looks like they're going to get a free kick just barely past the 15-yard line into Westchester territory. We're going to see if they want to set up something a little bit closer to the box, which it looks like they will. Good step from the Westchester defense, and an unfortunate touch there, giving chase at least to this back and forth that we've normally been having. But Thomas, an opportunity. He's going to see if he can do anything with it, but even if the opportunity of a goal did not present itself there, I'm sure Thomas is more than happy to have a corner kick result from this. He's going to see if pushing it out just outside the corner of the box is the right play. The ball's going to bounce awkwardly in the box, and Alloy able to clear it, but not clear it out of possession of Westchester. An attempted move there to see if he can get it past some players does not go through, and Westchester gonna see if a fast through ball-esque shot, I think would be the best way to explain it, will be what they need to get a quick counterattack, but it does not seem so for this attempt at least. Westchester trying to maintain possession on the sideline there, but unfortunately for them, falling back into Alloy's hands. I will say, I wonder if there is going to be a mentality shift now that they know that Alloy's at least confidence seems to be coming back, as we have a quick substitution. And looks like it's going to be a free kick for Westchester, yes. Just past the 20-yard line, and they're not going to go for their quick play to try and catch Alloy off guard, instead opting to set something up which both pulls all the players back on defense and burns a little bit of time, so definitely a good choice in my eyes. But not falling into any West Chess player favor as it flies backwards and they recollect. Ooh, a little bit of an awkward touch there from Miller, I believe, but Lopez teaming up with Miller, able to keep this possession going, and a possibly good through ball, and it's an easy tap in for Robinson. From a play that, at least to me, didn't seem like it was going to generate too much, to a quick 1-2 that sent the ball straight past the defender, just out of their reach. And all Robinson had to do was give a quick tap to fake out the goalkeeper and leave an easy touch into the net. And yet again, Alloy 2 goals down. We'll see if they can develop anything and try and keep the confidence strong, as they have so far this game been much more ready to play as they seemed from the last half. Big clear coming out here, and we'll see Alloy collect it. But it looks like Westchester able to take good opportunity from this, but with the slight offsides, Alloy gonna breathe a sigh of relief, as not too much came of it. Oh, big tackle from Lopez, and a fallen player in front of him tries to make a move around. We're going to see if keeping the ball back is the option. It is not. And Alloy going to try and move the ball down this close sideline, and it almost results in something, but with a deflection, the ball is going to be in contention for a moment. I would like to take this moment to thank our sponsor of today's Game in Frame, Petrobacks. Today's Game in Frame is brought to you by Petrobacks, your gateway to Spain and Portugal. From unforgettable vacations to exclusive soccer group trips, Petrobacks gets you closer to the action, the culture, and the biggest teams on the Iberian Peninsula. Visit petrobacks.com and start planning your dream trip today. Thank you again, Petrobacks, for sponsoring today's game. Alloy continuously knocking at the door, and an attempted move here, see if they can keep this outside and maybe get some kind of service in. It's not going to result in anything there, but they will be happy that there is a deflection, giving them a corner kick. Good crowd developing around the goalkeeper. Ball soaring likely a little bit higher than was wanted, and some ping-ponging going on between both teams as it slips out of the Westchester's I stand corrected, not slipping out of the half, as Alloy gives a quick counterattack that, luckily for Westchester, falls straight into DeMar's hands. Westchester definitely choosing to take the more passive and controlling route at the moment, as Alloy seems to be applying a little bit of pressure, and ooh, bad touch from Lopez there. It's going to give Alloy possession as they get slowly shoved back to their own half, and no time going to be given for Mullen, and beautiful step. Lopez going to make up for a little bit of a mistouch that happened before. See if he can continue it. Unfortunately not, as he slides likely an extra 2 feet than normal. But his teammates, not going to let the effort go in vain, are trying to combat this contention that's happening towards the 30-40 yard line on the Alloy half. I'm going to go ahead and see an Alloy throw in. And that is not going to get them too far down into the opponent's half of the field, as they now have to fight back for it. The ball goes and pokes out of some contention, and in this case favors Westchester, as they will try and shift over to Lopez again, who has given them so many opportunities for movement, but too heavy of a touch might lose that possible momentum that they have been gaining. Attempted shot downfield results in Westchester's possession. You can definitely see Alloy picking up the pace a little bit. They know that this is turning into a more difficult and more challenging game as time closes in for this second half, though I don't see why it's not more than possible. It is definitely not at least easy. Oh, a little bit of awkward opportunity here. We're going to see some counterattack. A quick shot just past the goalkeeper. DeMars looks at his teammates as Alloy going to close the gap again. That, in this case, was Kreba, who was able to take a nice placement shot just past the goalkeeper to allow Alloy to at least stay in this game, as Westchester continues to not budge. And we see that aggression that I was talking about, as Alloy trying to interrupt passes sooner than they might happen, and also still trying to keep the ball in play to maybe develop something, but that ball stays in. Practically trapezing, or sorry, tightrope walking along the close side of the field. I'm sure that came to a surprise to all the players, as you could see plenty of pointing to get people to step on the ball sooner than they might have come to their own recognition to. But ooh, big touch there, and another possible opportunity for Westchester here. Going to try and go for maybe a chip shot to the corner, but not going to result in anything. And Mullen seeing if he can get any opportunities quick, but realizing Westchester likely ready for that option, is going to just encourage his players to move upfield and see if they can win something in the midfield, as seems like so far winning in the midfield is the key to this game. But winning in the midfield here is now going to favor Alloy, as they go ahead and get a free kick, and a card is handed off for a little bit of contention between players, which is somewhat to be expected, as this is a tight game and a very important game at that. And we'll see a service. It's going to go close to the top of the box and float relatively near it, just on the other side of the field. And a good clear from Westchester is going to relieve at least a little bit of pressure, but result in a throw-in. Westchester definitely doing well at setting themselves and making sure they are staying organized enough to manage some of these opportunities. It has only really been some individual breakaways that have resulted in the goals against them. But a quick back and forth here, and then a possible service deflected. He's gonna give us yet another corner kick for this half. Surely it is due that we get one of these corner kicks to result in at least some pressure on the ball, and that will not be one of them, as both teams scramble to get the proper positioning, which Alloy maybe possibly trying to exploit here. It goes over one, a pass back, and just over! So close to tying this up. A great header going ahead and setting Alloy with a shooting opportunity, but just a mere miscalculation sends it over the net, and now they're going to have to make that effort again to try and move back into the Westchester's goal box, but it might not be as difficult as prior expected, as a free kick gives them yet another opportunity to tie up this game. Service, very direct, and Box opting to punch it out, and with an attempted shot, does go relatively straight to him, which he is likely very excited about, as trying to manage catching a very slippery and bouncing soccer ball is not the most favorable thing for a goalkeeper. Ooh. Big touch that Westchester is able to recover from. Slide tackle is going to result in a penalty for Westchester, and Unfortunately, we do see a player down on the field. That is Edwin, the recipient of said penalty. He's going to get up with a little bit of a hop, but luckily it doesn't seem like it's anything too major. Lopez moving across the field in this case to try and generate something, but not resulting in anything too strong, and continuing to the midfield back and forth that we've seen a lot this game. Penalty for Westchester as the midfield battle turns into a little bit of a footsies match that switches sides, actually. And Alloy possibly going for a quick option, but with the confusion, I don't believe the ref allowed it to be played, since half the players on the field were likely on the other side of where the kick was intended to be. I believe the call is being reversed again. I think there's some confirmation that the ref is trying to go through to make sure that it is obviously the right call, but hopefully that's not something that gets too far into the heads of Alloy, as they are the ones fighting back, and every second that they are not at full speed, they are slowing down what could be opportunities. Going to see Alloy with a little bit of a dribble towards Westchester Field, but with the surrounding players, I doubt that will result in anything too immediately dangerous. But a goal kick is a happy ultimate, and no goals have been scored so far from corner kicks, so maybe one could be the reason that this game falls into a tie. And looks like we might have a possibly limping player, but he will continue to play on, centering the ball to keep it in Alloy's favor. And the ball almost slipped through the defensive line there, but cleared back upfield. With an attack opportunity for Westchester. Looking out, everything will slow down, but it doesn't look like it's going to be too immediate of a problem as a tussle begins, and it's going to favor Westchester. It'll go ahead and be a corner kick, essentially, for Westchester, as they'll likely set it up as one. You'll see Biquette looking around as he was in the wall, and we'll see some blocking in the corner, trying to maybe play for time or play for a deflection. It won't work, but they will go ahead and get the ball back on the Alloy side with some quick moves and a quick step, but as this back and forth continues, and a quick spin move is going to result in Lopez being there and getting an, I don't want to say easy tap-in goal because it was a one-on-one with the goalkeeper, but there wasn't too much that Mullen could do. Again, that midfield sort of confusion and back and forth is catching Alloy off guard, and that is proving to be a detriment for them, as for the third time this game they are going to go down 2 and have to claw their way back. So I would like to take this moment to let you guys know that we do have some other games coming your way. We have the US Open second round qualifiers, Met Oval Academy versus Central Park Rangers, and New York Greek Americans versus the New York Renegades. Those are respectively at 7 p.m. and 8 p.m. And then we'll be back with another Delaware conference broadcast, as at 1 o'clock we see Vitus United versus Lighthouse. Alloy are going to have to pick up the pace here if they want to get some kind of something to hopefully get this game within some kind of tie reach, but time is not exactly in their favor, and for most of this game, luck has not really been in their favor. And as Lopez turns on the burners to try and catch up to that, that's just going to be even more pressure and even more time wasted that Alloy cannot afford at this moment. Some looks downfield are taken, and it looks like this might be an opportunity, but a little bit of a misstep isn't going to completely get rid of the play, but it is going to give time for the Westchester defense to gain some footing in being better prepared for defending that, and Alloy making sure that Westchester can't get too much momentum going into their half, as being 2 goals down is obviously not as bad as 3. And as most people say, a 2-goal lead is not a safe lead in soccer, but just outside of that is a 3-goal lead. So I'm more than sure that Lopez will try to make sure that they take that safe 3-goal lead, as he tries to work around some Alloy defenders, though not resulting in the best outcome. It will actually reverse, and a service will come, but just over all the players involved, as DeMars was expecting a touch. And that will be our final whistle of the game. Westchester goes ahead and takes the game against Alloy 5-3. And though Alloy did their best to try and get some momentum going in their favor, as the start of this first half was good for them. They managed to, at least within the first 20 minutes or so, score 2 goals, which they had not been able to score any goals in the first half. The valiant effort on Alloy's side, unable to tie up this game, and Westchester able to hold strong. So, thank you for joining this Delaware Conference broadcast. And though I'm unsure whether or not we will do an interview, if we do not, I'm getting word that we will. So please do stay with us for a little while longer as we go ahead and pull a player to get their words on this game. And as always, thank you for tuning in to Game in Frame.
Junior Rosero drifting deep. And it's Oscar Rivas! Oh my word! Stunning! Oscar Rivas with another moment of cup magic!
Happy to keep this. Floated forward to McDade. I don't see the flag up. What a finish that is by Brian McDade. Off the underside of the bar and in.
Flipping Suarez on it, gets a foot on it. Opportunity, open goal! It's Eric Rincon who opens the scoring for Galicia.
It's in the box, in the mate, to it first. Defense to a second. Rojas with a long shot, and what a goal! What a strike for number 4!
With his leg. Goes long for Neme. Neme controls it well. Garcia, chip to the run of Neme. Will he get a shot? Tight angle, finishes for Nicolas Neme. Set up by Ivan Garcia with the chip assist. And Neme, a good finish inside the left post, and it's 1-0 Ironbound very quickly here at home.
Scan across and make sure everything is closed up. Here's Yusuf Afif. Gets away from the defender. Yusuf Afif off the crossbar! Newly repaired, put back into order, and Yusuf Afif says, let me give it a quick testaroo.
Jayakanth Central. The Ana again takes a shot. What a finish from the number 7! Just like that.
Schwartz. Schwartz trying to get around Gralla. He does. Schwartz! Schwartz! What a run by Brandon Schwartz!
Rose got a touch over Gene right at the goal line and in. Gene didn't come get it in time. And it's delicately put in. First the touch over by Rose and then sliding to finish.
Sabovic wobbling, immaculate by Sabovic. That is delicious. Immaculate in its construction. It wobbled and weaved all over the place.
Tangled with Cardozo, no foul. Oliveira, he will shoot, and when they chipped him again from over 30 yards out, it's Ricardo Oliveira, his 4th, and there's the 2nd for Ironbound, the 2nd chip, and this is excellent from Oliveira.
Paz gets past 3. Paez, the ball, a boot shot! It's a rocket! Brahim Aboud with a rifle from his left foot.
From soccer fields across the USA to the legendary stadiums of Spain and Portugal, for 40 years, Petrobax has been the go-to expert for group travel to Spain and Portugal. We organize soccer group trips from start to finish, flights, hotels, transportation, and guided tours, all perfectly coordinated by our experienced team. Your trip can include attending La Liga and Portuguese Primeira Liga games, matches against local teams, pro training sessions, and even tournaments. As true experts in Spain and Portugal, we'll ensure you also experience the rich history, vibrant culture, and incredible food these countries are famous for. celebrating 40 years of crafting unforgettable journeys to Spain and Portugal. Petrobax, your team, your passion, your trip to Spain and Portugal starts here.
My name is Austin Brummett. I'm a men's soccer player at San Diego State University, and I play forward. The Salt Air Case helps block odor from my cleats when I'm driving in my car or when I'm keeping my cleats inside my house, so I don't have to worry about it stinking up my room. It helps me keep track of my cleats and my shin guards, so I know that they're together, and I don't have to worry about tracking them down or losing them or stressing out about where they are. I would definitely rock this, walking to the games, walking around to my trainings. And it's super helpful for travel. When I travel in the airport to go to away games, it's not going to stink up my backpack or stink up the plane where I'm sitting. Magnetic strip on the top is super easy to open to take my cleats out and to put my cleats back in. I think it's an essential part of my outfit for soccer and helps keep all my stuff organized and stink-free.
A quality highlight reel is crucial for college and pro recruitment. A lot of services offer generic solutions, but at Game and Frame we know every player is unique and needs a personalised approach to win over coaches. Our process is simple. We work with any footage, and if you need help finding your best plays, we'll review games for you. Once we've finished, you'll have a reel you can upload to any recruitment platform. We've helped hundreds of players get the attention they deserve, including placements in Division I programs. Scan the QR code or email us for a free consultation and start the journey to maximize your recruitment potential.
Hello everybody and welcome back after an exciting game of Westchester versus Alloy. Westchester taking it 5-3. With me I have Joel Lopez. One goal this game, one of the deciding ones as it was a back and forth match going into the second half.
I didn't score a goal this game.
You didn't score a goal this game? I thought you had to tap in.
No, I had 2 assists.
Oh, you had 2 assists?
Yeah.
Apologies. 2 assists. The
Should we restart?
man of the match. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think the main question that I will go ahead and ask is obviously the weather not too favorable for anyone playing, but it did seem to help out you guys in some cases, especially in the beginning of the match with Mullen, their goalkeeper, sort of fumbling a little bit and giving Robinson that opportunity. Were you guys ready for it? Did you guys know in advance and try and prep for it in any way?
Yeah, I mean, the pitch, we always come out and we play our games expecting the worst. We're always taught to go to that 50-50 ball and be ready for those rebounds. I think the weather conditions don't change how we play. We always give 100% and we're always ready and on our toes. So yeah.
Wonderful. Love to see it, and that definitely showed in this match. Now, Alloy is probably one of your biggest contenders, as last season Westchester was a new team, a complete lightning bolt that struck the entire league, and you guys are definitely going about trying to maintain that same thing. And this was one of the more pivotal games in that case, because they are number 2 while you guys are number 1.
Yes.
So what does it mean to take down that team that might be one of your more menacing opponents?
I mean, yeah, it feels great. We worked hard. We knew this was going to be tough, but we worked as a team and we gave it 100%, and that's the result today.
Wonderful. We love that. Now, on the walk over here, you told me that this is one of your first games that you played here with Westchester. So go ahead and tell me, how much it means to have such an impact in the game, and how much it means being in this kind of environment.
I mean, yeah, it feels great. The team, everyone was very welcoming. Coach open arms, and it was just very easy for me to get settled. And I feel like part of the team. It feels great. So I'm very happy.
Wonderful. All right. Well, do you have any parting words? Anyone that you want to say hi to? Anything of those lines?
I just want to say hi, Mom and Dad. I love you. Thank you. I wouldn't be here without you guys. You guys supported me throughout this journey. And yeah, love you guys.
All right. Well, there you have it. This was Lopez, one of the assisting mans of the match. And I have been Kenneth Dyer. Thank you for joining us for this Game and Frame podcast, that's weird, broadcast. Even though obviously the rain wasn't too favorable, we still had a wonderful match, and I hope that you guys have a wonderful rest of your evening.